I really hope you guys enjoy these trailers as much as I love making them. A lot of these trailers have actually turned out way better than I expected, and overall, I just find it to be an effective way to showcase my map before you even download it. So this is my third campaign style map, and it's really a culmination of everything that I've learned in Unity so far. So you're probably wondering why the map is called Labyrinth. And well, I can't really tell you, but it's just really how it ended up. And the original design of this map was to build a shoot house style level, kind of CQB combat, and then it just morphed into parkour, puzzles, and then so much more. So when I'm experimenting with ideas, it usually comes down to a few factors. Am I having fun, and do I find any replay value in this for playing it again? And if chances are, if one of those is no, then it's probably a bad idea and I have to go back to the drawing board and, reconsider what to do. And the core design philosophy that I go into with these maps is, would I play this more than once, and is it worthwhile to keep in my mods folder? I think coming into Bonelab, it was really disappointing having some of the levels compared to Boneworks, and they just didn't live up whatsoever, and a lot of them were mini games, right? We don't need to go through this, we all know this, but really trying to take inspiration from Boneworks levels. So let's talk a little bit more about Labyrinth, and first thing off the bat I want to say is there's no respawns and there's no checkpoints. And the amount of time it took me to get through my first playthrough on this map was roughly 12 to 15 minutes, and that's not accounting for me dying. So if you do die, your playtime's gonna end up going longer because you're starting all the way at the beginning again. The next thing I want to call out is this map utilizes scene zones, and if you don't know what a scene zone is, essentially it's an invisible barrier that when you cross it in the map, it has a spawner placed somewhere else on the map spawn NPCs. So if you've played other maps and you see NPCs spawn in front of you, you probably hit a scene zone and that was spawning an NPC somewhere else on the map. I know people have talked about seeing NPCs spawn in front of them. Really, that's just the design of the scene zone and how it works out. So with this map, I did my best to try and hide those spawners better so they're not just appearing out of thin air. And I've kind of made it clear in the description of the mod to just play it a little bit slower. Don't run through the map like a crazy man. Otherwise, you're going to be triggering all these zones and NPCs are just going to be appearing all around you, and it's just going to break the immersion and really the flow and dynamic of the map. Slower you kind of play through these maps, the better. I'm not aware of any ways to make these zones, any faster at spawning enemies. Really, all you can do is put them further away so everything kind of develops on its own, and it just makes for a more fluid gameplay. You may have noticed the escalator in the beginning, and then there is a ladder portion that was ripped from the Dungeon Warrior map within Bonelab, and I want to give a shout out to Daytrip10 for ripping those assets for me, and then as well as figuring out how to get them to work properly, especially the escalator. It's really cool to bring these assets into a mod and just use them again, because I feel like they were pretty underutilized within the base game, so any chance I can get to use them again, I will. Another thing that I incorporated in this map was the graffiti on the wall, and you're gonna see this scattered about, all over the map. Some of it's gibberish, some of it's actually helpful, but really this is just another way to bring that immersion of like a Boneworks level back into a modded level and just have some fun and enjoyment. And so kind of with each map, I try and incorporate new and interesting things, or just, dynamic gameplay, what have you. And really that's kind of just the iteration of building maps. You try and build a better map, then a better map, and even better, and try and outdo yourself, right? So hopefully that's the case with a lot of my maps. It kind of shows my own progression, if you will, of building maps in Unity and just incorporating things I've learned along the way. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed these maps and, enjoy these commentaries that I make on the maps and just kind of seeing what's in my head, how I'm building, and I'd love to hear the feedback that you guys have, what you'd like to see, and I can try and incorporate it going forward in my maps. One thing I want to learn is how to actually make plug-in batteries and the stuff like that, just to make more dynamic gameplay, more exciting puzzles, and what have you. So if you have feedback, feel free to leave it below, or comment that on the mod, because always looking for your guys' ideas. So I love experimenting, and that's gonna do it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed this devlog, and yeah, take care and go check out the map.